I'm gonna go pee. I'll be right back. And then sorry? Question mark?
Sure.
Well,
I've drank so much water since I sat down.
If you're gonna go pee, I'm gonna go put my laundry in the dryer.
I'm fine.
Because I have needed to do that. Alina, you can also go. You don't need to feel left out.
But I have nowhere. I have nothing to do. What do you?
Just like walk in a circle around your couch for like 2 minutes.
You're fully allowed. You're allowed to go. You are dismissed.
You don't fucking dismiss me.
I am the captain.
This whole thing is kind of her operation, man.
I'm the one with OBS. I'm the one who drew you. I can remove you whenever I want.
As I get fucking dissolved into the ether. When are we gonna do a Helldivers episode?
I'm gonna go pee.
It's a beautiful day outside. Birds are singing. Flowers are blooming. On days like these, kids like you should be listening to Trope Troupe.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm Alina.
I'm Cole.
And I'm Sand Undertale.
Oh my god.
Special guest of the week.
Jesus.
You guys know I've never actually fully played the genocide route of Undertale.
I haven't either. I haven't fully played the
I'm
passive.
the other one who has.
Yeah.
I've somehow played more of Undertale than Cole has. That makes me more qualified to talk about it.
This is okay. Well, I was gonna say that this is true because you have played more Undertale than me, because you have the version of the game with the most content in it.
I guess, but I've also fully played the pacifist and genocide route.
Yeah, no, I never beat those. I'm lazy. I also I actually never played the genocide route. End sentence.
I didn't either.
Because I'm a sane and normal person.
Yeah.
Who knows when to give up.
You read Homestuck.
Okay, you got me there. But in my defense, I will say it is my opinion that you do not need to agree with because it's not inherently a correct one, unlike some of my others. That Homestuck is not required reading for Undertale, but it helps. I think it helps you understand what Undertale is doing.
Man.
I mean, that's fair.
Alright.
And I get to make claims like this because no one else here has read Homestuck. And they never will.
Yeah, I never will, you're right.
And you know what, audience? You shouldn't either. We're not here to talk about Homestuck today. Today we're here to talk about this little, not very well-known indie game you've maybe not heard of. It's called Undertale. It has this character in it named Sans. He's really funny.
He makes really good jokes.
I can't even commit to the bit that hard, man. I'm sorry.
He makes really good jokes, though.
I'm not a big pun fan, so...
Well, then you're wrong.
He befriends people's moms.
Yeah.
Yeah, how are we feeling about Deltarune Chapter 4, people? It'll be long enough by the time this comes out. I can post untagged spoilers now. Undertale. You know it. We all have it. Who needs them? A game that came out in 2016 and changed
15.
my life.
15?
2015, thank you. And changed my life forever afterwards. A birthday gift from Toby Fox to me because my birthday is the same day that Undertale came out.
Oh my god.
This is a lot.
Wow.
No, it's one day off.
Well, thanks. Now they know. Post identifying information on main.
Lol.
Dock yourself on main.
Dox
Do it.
yourself on main. My address is 999-999-999-9999 on 999 Street
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a lot of
in the
nines.
United States. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's right inside the Pentagon.
I think you
That's right.
mean.
Yeah, actually, I live in the trash cans at the McDonald's that's in the Pentagon.
living in a goddamn trash can.
Living in a goddamn trash can? We're not here to talk about Deltarune either, despite
No.
the relatively recent releases. Although we might. That's not
Might
the
do
initial
it.
point.
Yes.
The thing is, Undertale got deeply, insanely popular, as I'm sure I don't need to tell anybody.
Yeah.
And I think, it's my opinion, that this is one I do believe is firmly correct.
Mhm.
I cannot be dissuaded from this one.
Mhm.
That this was actually a severe detriment to the message that the game is trying to communicate. And also, in some small part, I think that message was always a little bit doomed, which sucks. But I think it has to do with the case of like what state the general indie scene was in at the time. Because the general state that the indie scene was in around 2015, 2016 was people who were deeply, deeply, deeply obsessed with like deep lore details and like hidden secrets and things. I blame this mindset on two things primarily. I blame it on the wild success of FNAF as well, because FNAF never had a story. It had a bunch of hidden secrets that were fun to discover, and people got deeply obsessed with them and tried to connect them together into a story that does not exist. Is how the first few games go, at least.
Mhm.
I also, unfortunately, do need to put some blame at the feet of Matthew Patrick of Game Theory. I don't personally dislike Game Theory. I just think that when you are putting something out every single week, you don't have the time to like play everything that's there. You don't have the time to like between like writing scripts and editing and doing all this other stuff. He also has like another business he was doing at the same time. You just don't have the time. You just don't have the time to double check everything, and the general ethos that ended up arising from like fans of game theory was also part of this like obsession with hidden lore details and these things that are like hidden in like the files of games, that like cut assets, things that get like removed but are still in the game because it's easier to just disengage them from happening than remove them, because coding is weird and fucked up, and if you fully delete something it might fuck up other shit. But ultimately, I also think at the end of the day, I'm not blaming MatPat for this attitude in general, because it's like he's just like a guy. He was really popular, of course. Game theory still is popular today, but did the attitude that, in my opinion, game theory content promoted at the time make it worse? I believe so.
Yeah, and also just like the reason that content got popular is because of the consumer. Just because like these people already liked kind of theorizing, and then MatPat kind of encouraged that behavior, and then it went off the rails. Because
sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. Because not only was MatPat's main audience like, ooh, I gotta theorize, MatPat's main audience was a bunch of teenagers going, ooh, I have to theorize. And that goes so well.
And as we all know,
time.
Teenagers are the worst creatures on the planet. Teenagers die.
If you're a teenager out there,
stop. Nope.
I just need you. I need you to know you probably feel like the most wretched being in existence. I assure you, it can get worse.
It will get worse.
It won't necessarily get. Don't listen to him, okay?
Listen to me. Get it twisted. It doesn't get better.
Get it twisted.
Get it twisted. Oh my
Sparkle
God.
off. Forget who you are. The audience is definitely part of it, because you like theorizing in general, of course you're going to be attracted to the content that is about theorizing. And this was also like it's not obviously Matthew Patrick's fault or anyone at Game Theory's fault. It was just the prevalent attitude in indie spaces at the time, because the general consensus seemed to be that like, oh, indie devs can put more of that stuff into their games because they aren't constrained in the same way by fucking mandates or whatever.
Yeah, AAA
That's
game
the
executive
general
boards.
attraction. Yeah, exactly. General attraction of independent game making, independent developing, independent anything is less oversight.
Yes.
Which can be good, it can be bad. It depends on who the fuck is doing things. Like,
it also means that the primary developers are also more likely to actually like the product they're working on.
Yeah, exactly. It also means that they're easier to reach and more likely to engage with things at the same time, which again can be good and can be bad. It's a fucking horrific case by case basis. So the obsession with deep lore details and theorizing and putting all this like niche story things together was just the general prevalent attitude in the independent scene at the time. And this meant that for quite a while, the general analysis of things in a narrative sense, in the way the game presents it to you, and in a thematic sense, has gone by the wayside for a long time. For like that, and also for the second reason of like, man, people don't understand how stories work anymore, do they?
Yeah.
This is a great opportunity to bring in a little bit of Deltarune here. As of recording, Deltarune chapters 3 and 4 came out like 2 weeks ago? Almost 2 weeks ago.
Recently.
And almost everybody's ideas for what happened in 3 and 4 were wrong. Because every single one of them were focusing on the wrong details. They were focusing on that kind of like this deep lore, all this hidden stuff, instead of the things that was right fucking in front of them, which is like, of course Chapter 3's Dark World is going to be about like Chris's weird fucked up childhood and like the divorce between their parents and all this other stuff, and like give us more hints about their past. No one could have predicted, spoilers, the Roaring Knight appearing at the very end of... I don't need to spoil anymore. When this episode's coming out, it'll be fine. Fuck it. No one could have predicted the Roaring Knight showing up, but it doesn't feel weird or out of place because it is a surprise in the universe as well. It makes complete sense for Chapter 4 to be the Church Dark World, which people thought we would be getting in like Chapter fucking 6 or 7 even, because it has been stated numerous times that chapters 1 through 5 are going to be the core story of the game, and chapters 6 and 7 are going to be like post-game content. So like, of course, we end up going to like a Church Dark World in chapter 4 and learn more about the prophecy in chapter 4, because we are building towards an initial climax in chapter 5 with the festival. And then chapter 6 and 7 will be a post-story story where there are still things that need wrapping up, but the main bulk of things is chapters 1 through 5. The ultimate point here is that nobody fucking understands what Undertale as a video game, as a piece of media, as a piece of art, is trying to communicate to them. In part because of the attitude in indie scenes at the time, and in part because it got so hugely successful and the audience was so hopelessly massive that there was no way in hell it was going to reach the majority of them, let alone like 20% of them.
Yeah.
It might sound like I'm overstating, but when your audience becomes mostly fucked up, mentally ill 12-year-olds who cannot analyze to save their lives...
We were 14.
Okay. Mentally ill 12 to 14-year-olds. Then... they're gonna miss shit. Of course they're gonna miss shit. And the attitude has continued to prevail over the past 10 years. Of course, even if you are replaying something, then your initial impression is still colored by the first time you played it. That's what first impressions are. They can be overtaken, but it takes a lot of effort, like on your part, to undo that. people just aren't interested in doing it. And I understand that people just want to vibe and have a good time, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why that's why I completely clear my mind whenever I'm engaging in new media. So the first impression is just nothing. And I analyze all of it after the fact.
I'm like a baby.
Yeah, I have no
I
object
experience
permanence.
nothing. I have no life experiences to color my impressions of things.
As media was intended to be consumed.
I don't believe that's the case at all, but you do whatever you want, man. I can't stop you. I don't know how I would even stop you from emptying your mind when you see new media for the first time. Like, grab your brain? How would I even do that? The tunnel effect. So, that's finally the thesis statement of the episode. That I will now go on to argue for in front of my audience of 2 people that are here.
Hi.
Actually, I think maybe a good place to start would be, first of all, let me ask you two. What do you think Undertale is about? I don't mean in the narrative and I don't mean in the lore. I mean thematically, what is it trying to communicate to you?
Can I phone a friend?
Yeah.
I would prefer your impressions, but no judgment.
Okay, cool. Cole, what is
Okay, you can't phone me. It's
it.
business time.
Then never mind.
Now I really want to know what you're thinking. Get scrutinized.
Well, here, let Peter go first because I actually have to think.
Okay, all right.
You say that like I don't have to think too. I
Okay,
replay all of Undertale in my mind's palace right now.
He's currently stuck where the bird carries you over a disproportionately small gap.
Yeah, I have to play that. I have to play that section at normal speed, just because I have to.
I get. I do be thinking.
We do be thinking.
I do be thinking.
Abraham thinking over here.
Look at this fucker thinking with their brain.
My window won't close. Come on. Give me a second.
Alina's escaping out the window. She doesn't want to answer my question.
There we go. Anyway, I think the theme of Undertale is the consequences of your actions.
Okay. It's not fully wrong.
Okay.
It's just like surface. Is my opinion.
Great. Well, at least I wasn't completely wrong, and therefore I win.
Hey, there is no entirely wrong answer. I'm not like a 5th grade English teacher.
Well, I am.
Since when?
Since right now. And if your theory about this, the color of this flower in this book isn't completely the one that I have, you're incorrect and dumb, and you should be taken back a grade.
Oh no.
I'm sensing some projection.
No.
No, they never got held back.
I never got held back.
What's your opinion on what's like your thesis statement on like thematic analysis of Undertale, Peter? What do you think it's trying to communicate to you as a player?
I mean, it tries to communicate a lot to you, which I think is both a good and bad thing, because a lot of the themes get lost in its popularity, like you've gone over before.
Yeah. Well, what do you think is the biggest?
The biggest theme of
That the work as a whole is trying to communicate.
I think Alina is right about it being dealing with the consequences of your actions, teaching the player that their actions have weight.
Okay. So, the reason it's not
as the biggest one.
The reason it's not entirely wrong, in my opinion, is because I think that the game is about, as a whole, is about if you get bored, go do something else. And the element of choice is a very important part of that, because the game's breakout popularity, of course, meant that when you did pacifist, everyone, when you fucking started doing the game and said about anything about it to anyone, 4 million people would get on your ass immediately and be like, okay, this is how you do this, this is how you do this, this is how you do this, this is how you do this. They would not allow you to have your own experience. And I think being able to engage with any piece of art on your own terms and engaging with it on its own terms is very important. It needs to meet you where you're at, you need to meet it where it's at.
And that's Undertale is actually one of the reasons why I fully empty my brain when I experience media for the first time, because it was one of the few games that I was like fully spoiled on before I ended up playing it myself.
Yeah, that does not create a good experience for playing Undertale the first time, knowing everything about it, because it got so huge, and therefore, like, after a point, so many people online, just by being on the internet, osmosis so much information about it, means that you're not blank going into it. And in my opinion, I don't think spoilers are an inherently negative thing, but I do think being spoiled on so many things in Undertale is a more negative experience than it is a positive one. You lose more than you gain with that one.
It also didn't help that the internet got like violently obsessed with people either doing the pacifist or the genocide route.
Exactly.
And if you did anything in the middle, it would just be like, you fucked it up.
If you played a neutral route
wrong, play it the way I tell you to.
Yeah.
Exactly. People get really, if you're uploading your game to the internet as a let's play, or just like notifying people of what you're doing, or like you get to a point and you ask for advice on like a fucking Reddit thread or something, people would get, and I don't know if this is still a thing, people don't stream Undertale anymore since it's 10 years old. But
it is a thing. It is a thing.
Still happening, huh? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. There is a streamer I watch called Astral Spiv. He usually does FNAF challenge speedruns, but he decided to play Undertale on a stream, and like he deliberately ignored chat, just so he could do his own thing. And he did do his own thing, and he got a neutral ending. But like the chat was just constantly screaming at him, like, "No, don't kill him! You're not supposed to kill him!" Or like, "Yes, kill them all!" Like just like every single person, except for like I think one guy that was like, I'm glad Spiff played it the way he wanted. like everyone was like either mad at him that he wasn't being a pacifist, or mad at him that he wasn't killing everything.
Exactly. Great to know that's still a huge problem. I guess it will never go away.
No.
Yeah, so like that's a hugely significant thing, because in my opinion, the ideal way to play Undertale is doing a neutral route first. Maybe you do kill some people, maybe you don't. That ultimately doesn't matter. Because here's the thing. I think the ideal beginning of Undertale goes: you start playing the game, you probably go through the ruins, probably not killing it. Because a key part of Undertale's marketing, remember, is it's the friendly RPG where nobody has to die. That's literally what it says in the Steam description.
Yeah.
So it's the thing that you would most know about the game. No one has to die in it. There is a way to solve any encounter non-violently. And the game tells you 2 ways to do that, pretty close to out of the gate. You can fight until enemies get tired and will allow you to spare them, or you can, through certain acts, spare them that way. And I imagine most people out the gate might be kind of either confused or intimidated by the act system. I'm thinking like normal fucking people here, not crazy people like myself. Who have played every RPG known to man.
I was going to say, or anyone who has played an indie game before that was even remotely inspired by Earthbound.
Yeah, right. But those were way less.
Spoiler for future podcast episodes, there's not an Earthbound episode.
Well, yeah, what the fuck is there to say about Earthbound that's not been said already?
And yet we talked about Mass Effect 1.
Okay, you got me there. Maybe do spare, because I can see the act system being confusing at first and a little unintuitive, because Undertale is not the most well constructed game, so probably people might go through the ruins fighting and sparing that way, maybe picking up how the act system works along the way, because it is a mechanic you don't see often, so I would probably want them get them to engage with it a little bit because it is new. That sense of curiosity would be there. Of course, the game's very charming throughout the entirety of the ruins, and you get to the end of the ruins, and you go through Toriel's boss fight. And I think the ideal first boss fight against Toriel, the first fight against Toriel, I think the ideal way to go through it is someone who has fought out some enemies in order to spare them by making them tired. Because again, the friendly RPG where nobody has to die, they might unintentionally kill a few enemies here or there, but that's besides the point. The point is that I imagine first-time player would be aiming to spare most enemies. Get tutorial, maybe try and spare her by tiring her out, because she's saying, prove yourself, prove that you'd be able to survive out there. So it would, I think, lead someone to try fighting. Toriel is programmed to die once her health hits 1/3. Who would not feel guilty about killing Toriel on accident?
It's hilarious you say that because Astral's Fifth did actually kill her by mistake.
Did he reload to try and go back and keep her alive?
Nope.
He's a heartless monster and should kill himself.
Well, he was
I'm
like
No,
basically
you were just demonstrating the average Undertale fan.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to embody myself from 10 years ago for a second.
Yeah, well, his whole idea was that, like, he was just gonna, like, because he'd never really, like, played or looked at the game before. Like, he was going in fully blind, like, didn't even see the tutorial, didn't even see the trailers that you're talking about.
You didn't read the fucking Steam description?
No.
Who reads those?
Me!
So, like, his playthrough of the ruins.
Okay, nerd.
I'm literate, fuck you.
Get out of my fandom.
Yeah. My fandom.
I was here first.
No, I'm talking about Project Moon.
Okay, yeah, fair, yeah. See you later. I'll just go.
No, don't go, no.
Catch up my hobo bindle.
But it's hilarious because what you just said of like I'm gonna try to tire everyone out and spare them and stuff. He went in and he saw what was it, the fucking flying things in the ruins, the ones that kind of look like bugs.
Yeah, Wiz something.
Yeah, he hated them. He killed them all.
Fair attacks can be kind of difficult, and you're new.
Yeah, like it wasn't just that. He just like saw the sprite art and went like, and killed them.
Gross, fucking pinnacle RPG player, this man apparently.
So it's like he was like, so his like killer spare thing was like for random enemies was entirely based on whether or not he liked the sprite art. He tried to spare Toriel. He failed. And then like just throughout the game, it basically depended on a coin toss or whether or not he liked the character.
That is not like an incorrect way of playing the game, because I'm gonna circle back to things like that. And closer in a little bit here, because I imagine because I'm not talking about like a random guy. I'm talking about like what I think personally the ideal beginning of the game would be is for someone to then go back, reload, and try and figure out how to spare her. And the game does give hints through its like flavor text boxes in the fight that you need to hit mercy over and over again. But after figuring that out, the player gets to the ideal player
ideal player.
Token ideal player gets to Flowey afterwards, who does know if you killed Toriel and reloaded to spare her, and will be like, I know what you did. And that's just like a little rock in the back of your mind for the rest of the game.
You know, if you haven't fully emptied your brain like the real pinnacle gamer that I am.
It's honestly hilarious because like Flowey kind of is actually the one that like gives you the idea to like go back, because he's like, because literally it's like, it's not like you could go back and fix it.
Yeah, that's right. He does also say that if you do kill her and leave, it's like, wow, that must suck. Oh well, it's not like you can go back and redo things better this time, right? Anyway, bye.
Yeah, they're like, wait a minute.
Hang on a moment. This is a video game.
I can go back.
Going through the whole rest of the game, because it's just the ideal beginning of the game. It's not that difficult to go through the rest of the game with sparing most enemies, because the overwhelming majority of enemies do get tired at low HP and allow you to spare them. With few exceptions here or there, and I imagine, people will be engaging...
Primarily the named ones.
The named ones, and I imagine at this point people will be engaging with the axe system more, so they'll understand more about the mechanics of the game and how to spare enemies easy. And now you essentially need to play into the joke of the enemy in order to spare them. I imagine most people might try and fight Undyne. Figuring out that you need to run from Undyne's fight is not an easy one. She does say, as long as you're green, you can't run away. But there's never been a fight you've had to run from before. Like, at all.
Yeah, and how many times has anyone ever actually run from an enemy in any game? Ever?
Yeah, the ability to flee from an encounter is not one that is reinforced at any point in time. So, that's part of why I think so many people would struggle there. So whether or not the ideal player kills or spares Undyne is, I think, a coin toss, and also unimportant. Because regardless of how many people they kill or they spare, as long as they get a neutral route, which I think is the route most people on their first playthrough will get, just by nature of the genocide route being hidden, most people not wanting to go out of their way to literally grind for hours.
Yeah.
Unless you're insane, like you are, Peter.
Yep.
Or doing it for content like other people on the internet are. Then you get to the end, you fight Asgore because you have to fight Asgore, and you get a neutral ending. And, you get dialogue from Sans calling you, depending on the ending that you got. And one variable that does not change, depending on the ending that you got, is Flowey popping up at the very end to taunt your ass and say, I wonder if you did this, if you did that other thing, if things would be different. And I imagine at this point the player will have saved and loaded enough times, either from deaths or just from fucking around, that they will have noticed that this game is very reactive to the choices that you make, which will make them curious. Does that change anything? What does change if I go back? If you've done Flawed Pacifist at this point, you will just be sent back, of course, to the Flower Chamber right in front of Asgore and do the romantic side quest for Alphys and Undyne, get the True Lab, do the True Pacifist ending. But if you've done a neutral route, and you've killed some people, you have to play the whole fucking game again. Which is good, because now you get to make new choices, and see how those affect
Informed choices.
Informed choices. And, also, thing I've neglected to mention, every single time you make a new save in Undertale, a fun value is determined, which is, of course, a random value that determines certain random events to occur. So you'll have a different fun value in this playthrough as well, which will cause different things to happen just by its nature. Eventually, a player will do a true pacifist ending, because again, the genocide route is not there. Is not blatant, it is not obvious, it is something that you find out through active experimentation and, in part, boredom. Because again, I'm not talking about, what did happen in our world, I'm referring to what I think the ideal thing would happen. The way that I think the game is intended to be played, in my opinion. do a neutral route, do maybe multiple neutral routes, eventually winding up to a true pacifist route, where you manage to free everybody, you get everybody out there, and Flowey pops up at the end to say, hey, don't reset. Leave things the way they are. Let Frisk live their life. Let everyone live their lives. But I think, as we've all noticed, this is the kind of game that really worms its way into.
Mm-hmm.
It don't you want to know? Aren't you curious? What happens if you do something else?
I'm gonna kill everyone.
I don't think you go immediately to a genocide route. I think you would do more neutral routes after. You want to see more variants, and eventually you would get everything that you could out of the game. And so eventually maybe the thought does come to you. Oh, what happens? What does happen if I just kill everything? I've done everything else. I can't get anything else out of this other than that. That's it. That's all that's left. I'll do that now. And then the genocide route begins. And the genocide route is designed from top to bottom to be extremely boring and extremely frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
And as unengaging as fucking possible. True turn your brain off gameplay, because you'll end up just killing most things in one hit.
Mm-hmm.
All of
So,
the puzzle
peak game for me.
because you empty your brain entirely.
Exactly.
All of the puzzles are already done for you by Flowey. Either Flowey finishes them, or they are like just destroyed or disengaged, or the monsters aren't setting up the puzzles because they get busy evacuating
Or dying.
or dying. The entire tone of the game shifts, becoming much more dour. There's not any jokes or hijinks or anything. It is significantly less engaging to play and experience. It is a fucking slog. It is meant to be a slog. And this is a point where I think I significantly diverge from the early fandom. Because the early fandom had the opinion that it was morally wrong to play the genocide route, because again, mentally ill 12 to 14-year-olds.
How could you kill my favorite goat, Mom?
How could you?
How could you do this?
He's literally a small bean, baby boy. He knows nothing. I hate the early fandom so much. That's in part because I have bad memories about myself at that time.
I never got like that into Undertale. Like, I liked it. It was good. It's just I wasn't over here like, oh, but they're such a bean. You have to protect them at all costs. I'm like, hey.
No, bean. That is an adult man.
That is an
who
adult man.
Who is in touch with his whimsy.
Yeah. Well, even then, I'm just over here like I understand kind of like at least the surface level point of the game, but it's like at the end of the day, it's a bunch of pixels on the screen that are coded to say words. Like, I'm not over here thinking that this is my new dad.
That's the point I'm ultimately getting into. Toby Fox put the genocide route into the game. It is there for a reason. You are supposed to engage with it eventually. It just has it just brings everything home, right? Mm. This is the point where we get into the real thesis of the game, which is, I believe that if you are bored, go do something else.
Yes.
If you've gotten every ounce of enjoyment that you think you can out of a game, go do something else. Play a different game. You don't have to go outside.
God forbid gamers go outside.
I don't want to go outside.
God forbid gamers go outside.
I don't want to go outside.
I get why you don't want to go outside. I bet the air quality is still bad out there.
Actually it got better. I just don't like the sun.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, you
I am half Scottish. The sun just kills me.
You're like a fucking... You're like the lights they put on bikes so that the headlights reflect off them. Yeah, I think the ultimate thesis point of Undertale is once you get bored, once you are finished, go do something else. Because that's also what the end of the True Pacifist route is trying to tell you. Let Frisk live their life. Let all the monsters live their lives. Just leave everything alone. This is a good ending, isn't it? And all things end, so go do something else.
No.
Okay, I guess you'll kill everyone.
I'm gonna kill all of you. and poke.
And I think this is reinforced in the genocide because
You're dying.
uh,
Oh no.
my momentum.
Your momentum.
I never met him. I never met Toby Forks.
No, I haven't either.
Tobias Foxington.
Tobias Foxy.
Short name Tobias Fox.
Long name, even shorter name, Toby Fox.
Yeah, I think this is further reaffirmed in the genocide route itself, where the game becomes a fucking slog and a nightmare to get through. You have two fucking super bosses that are engaging to fight, but they're also a goddamn nightmare to fight because the game's trying to tell you, hey, there's nothing for you here.
Mm-hmm.
There's more story, technically. There's more characters because you're putting them out. There's more characterization because you're getting them out of the bounds you've seen them in before. But at the end, there won't be anything waiting for you. There is no ending.
Mm-hmm.
And there isn't. There isn't at the end of the genocide route. Because I genuinely believe it's a total non-ending. You get to the end, Kara shows up, and kills and either you agree to kill the world or you don't, but it doesn't matter because the world dies anyway. Even at the end of the genocide route, the game is still telling you, let's destroy this world, let's erase this world and move on to the next. AKA, uninstall this game from your computer and play something else. And the world is destroyed, and of course you can get it back, you can reopen the game, you can fucking sit there for 10 minutes, wait for Kara to give you an offer of recreating the world in exchange for your soul. You give them the soul. The world is back. And of course it does forever mark it by giving you a weird, fucked up true pacifist ending, of course referred to as soulless pacifist. But and in my opinion, the photo at the end of Soulless Pacifist is not Kara being like, ha ha ha, I'm a freaky murderer, I'm gonna go kill everyone again. Because you're missing the point. If you think that, I think you're missing the point. You're thinking too much about Kara as a character and not about Kara as a writing device.
Mm-hmm.
This is the game reminding you, you've already killed everybody.
Yeah.
You've already done that once. There's nothing stopping you from doing it again. In fact, if you do the genocide route again, at the end of it, Kara calls you possessed of a perverted sentimentality.
Mm-hmm.
Where you are unable to let the game go, to go do anything else. It's become too much of a part of you.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you make a good game, Toby Fox.
I want to keep playing. Come on.
Hey, I want more.
You shouldn't have made it so good if you didn't want me to keep playing it.
Toby, what do you mean things have endings and they have to stop one day? Can't they just go on forever? Oh, hey guys, look! Wow, would you look at that? It's the thematic parallel to the all of Deltarune we have so far. What do you know? Holy fuck! Oh my god! Are you telling me the guy who came up with Deltarune first recycled some of the themes to use in his works? Holy shit!
Yeah, Cole, I think the real point of Undertale is that Toby Fox wanted to make a better game than Undertale.
That's the point of Deltarune. The point of Undertale was ultimately practice for Deltarune.
Yeah, they both have the same point.
Yeah, well, they have very similar.
Of making a game after Undertale that's better.
Yeah.
They have very similar points to each other, which is where I might go into some of Deltarune's thematic bits, which is being received better because we're older now. We're all older now.
Did we talk about...
All of the internet is no longer 14-year-olds.
Did we talk about what, Alina?
Did we... Sorry, there's a dog outside.
Important news. Toby Fox has found you.
Oh, fuck! Why does he sound like a beagle?
Me when I fucking get you.
Dog noise.
There's probably more bits of Undertale I can talk about if that's...
Well, I was just saying, like, how the fandom completely butchered the concept of Undertale as a whole.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far.
I'm exaggerating, but yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair, yeah. I would say people mostly just missed the point, because a lot of the fucked up mentally ill 12 and 14-year-olds, and a lot of the, even more broadly speaking, a lot of the people who recorded themselves playing Undertale and posted it online did not play Earthbound, first of all, one of its inspirations, did not play Off, which is a second inspiration of Undertale, which the thematic point of Off is not a video we're going to make, because it's just like a 4-hour philosophy lecture.
Oh boy!
And thirdly,
Someone
had
took
not...
Sophie's choice or Sophie's world.
Those are two very different books.
Yeah, no, the early fandom, I think, broadly missed it because both the people that they became very popular with, and also all the people who did all the internet content about it, had not played Earthbound, had not played Off, which are two major inspirations for Undertale, and had not read Homestuck, which, as I did say earlier, I do think is sort of vaguely required reading, in the sense of, like, reading it helps you understand Undertale better, because Toby Fox did work on Homestuck. He did some of the music for it. That's where Megalovania sort of comes from, in a sense. Whether, I forget if he made it first for his Halloween hack, or if he first made it for Homestuck.
I think it was the Halloween hack, and then Homestuck, and then
and he used it later for Homestuck. Because
Yeah.
the Halloween hack version is the least saucy version of Megalovania.
I think it was like one of his first public things ever, so yeah.
It was, yeah.
So that would make sense.
They just hadn't engaged with the things that had inspired it. And fucking God, while I'm here, let me do a fucking hot shit take about Death of the Author. There's two things about Death of the Author on the internet, as it's understood on the internet, is A, people use it to engage with things entirely uncritically. When you mention something about, like, oh yeah, when the author wrote this is what they were thinking, right? This is what the author is like as a person, and this is how that informs their work.
Mm-hmm.
And someone is just like, Death of the Author, bro, it can mean whatever I want it to mean. And it's like, okay, it can mean that to you. I need you to understand it is not going to mean that to many, many other people.
Uh-huh.
And the second thing being, like, connected to the first thing, which is that, like, yes, Death of the Author does mean that once a work is released, it is no longer purely exists within the mind and eyes of its author. It is now subject to public scrutiny, and that means that interpretations that were unintended by the author can then be applied to it.
Mm-hmm.
This does not mean that the author's background, the way that the author carries themselves, the way in like the views that they hold, the things that have influenced them and their work are unimportant. They're still very important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It just means that there's things in there that they didn't intend to put in there, and that the readings that you get as a viewer aren't any less important than the viewing that the author has of that work. It means that the author's work is not the highest. It means that the way the author views their work is not the highest priority on the ladder. Is all that it means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And yeah, what also didn't help, I guess in my case, with like trying to engage with the main topic, is just all of the ridiculous alternate reality stories shit that, like,
are you telling me you don't like Fresh Sands right now? Are you telling me you don't
even know what that is? like I kind of...
Can't you tell me what Swapfell is immediately?
No. See, my issue with engaging, I am gonna kill you. Allegedly. My issue...
In Minecraft,
hypothetically. For legal reasons, that's a joke. I would never kill my friends. They're my friends.
Unless they asked you to, like, really convincingly.
No. Now, if you try to kill me first, then it's self-defense. But you're not going to do that.
No, I have no reason.
Exactly. So, anyway, my point. I had such an issue engaging with Undertale content after a certain point. Not the game itself, but like just like kind of like the fandom of it, because like, you know, there's only so much content of the main game you can absorb before it's like, yeah, that's all of it.
Somehow there's always more.
Yeah, and so I was over here like, well, what's the fandom got? And it's just a bunch of different Sanses, and a bunch of different Friskses, and a bunch of different realities, and I was like, this has literally nothing to do with the game. Like, this is meaningless, and I stopped engaging.
One of my favorite Undertale fanfictions are all post-canon fics.
Mm-hmm.
That because also think about all of those AUs, they are essentially replaying the story of Undertale itself, which is, need I say again, antithetical to what I think the message of the fucking game is, which is go do something else. Don't just rehash it over and over again.
Yeah, well, and it's interesting because as we said, the main audience was like 12 to 14-year-olds. And this is
it ended up being that way.
Yeah, and the thing is
not the intended audience.
Yeah, and the thing is that like usually when an audience of that age gets a hold of something that like they should or should not have, they will do that. They will just do that. Like I don't know, my thing that I did when I was 12 to 14 was fucking creepypasta, which is like, that absolutely should not be viewed by little children. But we got a hold of it anyway. Well, no, but still, some of the creepypastas on there were kind of like, maybe this shouldn't be shown.
Some of them were pretty explicit.
Yeah, and so, but like, you saw what happened. It became this thing where people were like, oh, but I want to put my spin on it. Oh, but I want to do my thing. And like, hell, I did it. I did that. It got me 200 followers on a website, but so I guess it worked. But
on a website that will not be named, I guess.
It's dead. It doesn't matter.
Oh.
You'll never find it. But that's what happened, and then everyone kind of like it kind of killed it in a way. And then the modern version of this is the Backrooms. The modern this is because the Backrooms started as literally just this silly little concept of like one thing, and a bunch of teenagers got a hold of it, and they were like, oh, but I want to put my room in. Oh, but I want to put my room in. And now it's become this horrifically convoluted mess.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened with Undertale.
like I said, like all of my favorite, like not just fan fiction, but like fan works are all ones that are post canon, because it is taking these characters and continuing their story past the point that we know them from.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that is still like in line with the game's themes. You still aren't letting the world go and moving on, but the game never said you had to stop thinking about it or stop making things about it. And here's a fun fact about recent themes in Deltarune is reinterpretation. The whole point of Chapter 4, I guess, spoilers if you're into that, whatever, who cares? I don't think spoilers are that big of a deal.
Well, okay, yeah, but a lot of people do those.
They're wrong.
I do think they're wrong.
We don't respect wrong opinions here.
Damn, I guess I'm glad that I got the surface level answer.
As we see very blatantly in Chapter 4, a key thing that's going to be in Deltarune is the fact that, like, the prophecy exists within the world of Deltarune. The prophecy was already reinterpreted into the in-universe story Lord of the Hammer, which was already then further reinterpreted into the video game series Dragon Blazers. I almost said Blazer Dragons. That's a Yu-Gi-Oh card, probably.
It is.
Oh, no.
I knew it. But the point is, I think as well, reinterpretation. I think as it says, or at least as Toby Fox said at one point, in the lead up to chapters 3 and 4, there's something more important than getting to the end. There is something more important than the conclusion, and that is, of course, as many would assume, to be the journey. But it's not just the journey, it's the way the journey connects to you, the way that it makes you feel, the way that it engages with you, all this other fucking bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And a part of that is reinterpretation. So I don't think necessarily the 400 different versions of Sans and Frisk, and really just them, and mostly Sans, honestly.
So many Sans. God,
And I'm
the
going to bring
Sans.
back on the thing I've already said here, which is like, I actually don't think that they necessarily go against the thematic point. Did you send me that Yu-Gi-Oh card, Peter? Is that what you just
Yes, I did.
Wow, yeah, Cosmic Blazar Dragon. I don't think necessarily that the 4 million AUs go against the themes of Undertale, because especially as Toby Fox seems to have like shifted his opinions on some things going forward. The thematic points, at least, that he's putting into his art, because I can't claim to know the man himself.
Mm-hmm. You can, it
which
would
is
just be
like
a lie.
I could, it would just be a lie, yeah. I can't rightfully claim to know him. Is that like reinterpretation is still like a creative effort. Reinterpreting things, putting a new spin on them, putting what if my thing, what if my thing, what if my thing, what if my thing, is still creative effort. And I do think for like a lot of people, it is like baby's first creative effort.
Mm-hmm.
Where it is like, I don't have the like experience or chops to like make my own brand new thing, but I'm really, really into this thing, and I wonder, what if also this?
Mm-hmm.
Is a place that a lot of people, not just young people, but like a lot of people in general, get a foot into creativity. Is that aspect of making something, of not creating something new wholesale, but putting your own spin on something that already exists. And that can be something as simple as what if Undertale but edgy, or it can be something as complex as what if I invented an entire magic system for humans to use within the world of Undertale that is consistent with the lore and the way that it's expressed.
See, that's fun. I like that.
That's one of my favorite fanfics, is the Golden Quiche. It's really good. It's like 200 and something. It's like fucking 60 chapters long right now.
My God.
It's still updating?
I like my webcomics. They're a little shorter.
A little short.
A little shorter. A little easier to read. There's
Like,
pictures.
I don't. I mean, the art is lovely for a lot of these. I don't think that necessarily goes counter to the themes of the game. I just don't think it's engaging with them on like the deepest level that they could.
Oh yeah.
And again, that's because of the age of the fandom at the time.
Absolutely.
A, it was a young fandom. B, here's a fun fact: Homestuck brought a lot of people into fandom for the very first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
It had been several years since Homestuck at that point, and so it was time for a whole set of new people to turn 13. Undertale is to people who were like of that age of like first getting into fandom as Homestuck was back in the day. Undertale fans were just as annoying, just as everywhere, just as fucking inescapable.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't recall any incident with Undertale fans in a spit bucket, but the point is,
What?
don't worry about it. We're not talking
worried
about it.
Oh, anyway, something Undertale.
Yeah. No, it's. I do think the point of Undertale is ultimately, once you are done, go do something else. And that something else doesn't have to be actually playing a different game. That something else can be one of the many, many, many thousands of fucking fan works that exist. Probably millions of fan works that exist out there in the world. Right? It doesn't say you have to stop engaging with the media entirely. It's saying put the game down because the game is over. Now you can go do anything else. But just as long as that's anything else. Toby Fox, again, has said, but this is post-Undertale, he has said before, this is entirely paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly what he said, that he wants to like inspire a bunch of people to make games in the same way that he was inspired. to make games by Earthbound and by Off and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he got inspiration from there, and he wants to inspire people with his game. He wants his game to make more creative people in the world. And so I can't imagine that he would be like upset at the like kind of triteness of a lot of the AUs, where they are very on the surface very, very simple, where it's Undertale but if edgy, or Undertale but if personality swap.
Undertale, but all the monsters are mean. That was one actually.
I mean, you can name almost anything, and it's an Undertale.
Yeah.
Undertale, but it's exactly the same.
I think that's just Undertale.
Everything's exactly the same, but you're playing as one of the previous humans.
Undertale Yellow already exists.
Yeah,
it's a fan game. It's really good.
Oh.
I've not played it. I've just heard it's really good, and I trust other people.
Unfortunately, I do know how that ends.
Yeah, they die. They
die.
Yeah,
in a very specific spot.
Yeah, because it's implied that the fallen humans died at the places where you find their equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So the Yellow Soul, which is what Undertale Yellow is about, who's associated with the gun and the cowboy hat, would have died in Hotland somewhere, presumably. If that theory is correct, that's just an idea. It's not.
Imagine beating Undyne and then dying to some like random fucking monster in Hotland.
Undyne
on the Metaton show.
It's implied that there's a lot of time between the human before Frisk, so Undyne probably either was a kid herself or wasn't alive yet.
So Undyne did kill the kid with the cowboy hat, just like she was like 5.
But she was also a kid.
Yeah, so and that's how she got into the Royal Guard so fast, because she killed a human.
Literally not how it happened.
Let me have fun.
No, you think... Listen, just because this is a thematic analysis, you think I don't know all of the lore?
Tell it to us in excruciating detail, Tails.
No! Find someone else to do that. So many other people have already done that. I don't need to do that.
I know.
Anyway, here's all the lore in excruciating detail.
Oh, no!
But yeah, that's what I think is ultimately the core theme of Undertale. At its very center, the thing that I think it's most trying to communicate to you is, once you're done, go do something else. Get all the enjoyment you can out of this, and then once you're finished, go do another thing. Go do another thing. This is the fun part about thematic analysis, because a lot of people do get stuck in the like middle high school thing of like, anything outside of my interpretation is wrong because I'm a shitty teacher. Aspect of it, and think that there's like either only one correct interpretation, or, which is, to be fair, I think there are some interpretations that are more correct than others, and I do think there are interpretations that are straight up fucking wrong. But that's not the discussion of today. And also think that things like the game is telling you to quit when you're done isn't like a theme. I think of themes as things that are like very, not necessarily near the surface, but things that are very like, oh, the theme of this is freedom. And it's like, well, yes, but what about freedom is it trying to communicate to you? What? It's more than just that.
See, the color of the car is yellow because yellow represents corruption, and corruption is...
Yellow represents how badly I need to pee.
You already did.
You already did.
I need to pee again. I'm drinking so much water. You don't understand how fucking hot it is in here, and how much my throat hurts. Okay?
It is really hot.
I've had so much mucus drainage go down my throat these past 2 days that it's just in pain constantly. I can still speak, but it's always a little bit in pain, and it's always a little bit dry, and it's partially your fault for asking me to help you yesterday.
That's how you really feel, I see.
And sometimes in life, you gain disordered eating habits, and they're really hard to get rid of.
Mm-hmm. And that's the true message of Undertale.
That's the true message of Undertale. I've mostly run out of things to say about Undertale. Did we hit time? Are we good?
Well, hold it. Let me see if I can find it on voice. Give me a second. Give me a second. All results.
I think, Alina, I think you can play it on your end if you just go into. You can just hit previews.
I found it.
It will be there.
Thank you. And now we're gonna see if this actually is the right one or if I'm a fool. You're taking too long. That was the wrong one. It's fine.
It still works.
It still works. All right, bye everyone.
Bye.